Welcome to Collecting Chaos. Today I'm going to show you some more Captain Americas. Not a whole lot, just a few. Might do a little comic cleaning. I'm seriously thinking about doing a repair on that Classics Illustrated that I showed in the last video. Because those spine splits really bother me, and the comic is 71 years old. And I'd like to see it last another 70 years, so a minor spine repair might be in order for that. And I might add some other things in when I think of them. So if that seems like the kind of thing you're interested in watching, then don't go anywhere. Let's get started with these Captain Americas. Here's number 204. You thought I was going to start with number 251, didn't you? No, I went backwards because I realized I had Captain America in another box. This one is by Kirby, the King. Yeah. It's from December of 1976, so that means this is shortly after he left DC and went back to Marvel. It's in pretty nice shape. I do like me some Kirby art. And here's number 205. That's from January of 1977. Again, Jack Kirby. If you got to read Captain America, might as well be Kirby, right? And here's number 206. All of these, of course, are newsstand. $207. At this period in time, newsstand was more common than direct market. So if you get a direct market from the late 70s, it's a little more rare. Then we skip to number 220. This one is the cover is kind of tilted on the artwork, but the comic isn't. The comic is cut right, and it doesn't have a spine roll or anything. It's just the way it was assembled. We used to call this a progressive bindery defect, and it actually did detract from Near Mint comic. I don't know if they still do that or not on these older ones. But by now, Buscema had taken over, and I think Kirby went to PC Comics to do some things over there. Here's a 221. Maybe fine condition. 222. Off-white pages. Here's a second 222. This one is in a little worse shape. Not too bad though. Pages are more yellowed. Overall, fairly clean. Wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of cleaning on it though. If you compare these two, you can see this one is dirtier than this one is. There's number 223. Off-white pages. And Sal Buscema art. I like Sal Buscema's art. $225. $226. There's a nice Hulk there. Got some pages folded over. Before I put it in Mylar, I'll make sure I fix those. Number 227. It's just me, or were the ads back then better? It's number 228. This is a really nice copy. I saw a page back there. There you go. Captain America using his shield on that back splash page to save his opponent. I forgot to turn the air conditioner or the heater off before I started, and it just came on. But this is almost done. This is a rough copy of 228. It's another copy. I think we'll do a little cleaning on this one just to see how close we can get it to. I'll pull both of these off to the side. I'll do a little cleaning on that one, but I'll keep that one so you can see how much of a difference it is. And if I bring them up closer, you can see the dirt a little better. Of course, it's going to be blurry, but there you go. Now I'll refocus. It's got an autofocus, but I don't like the way it works, so I would rather focus it myself. And here's Captain America 229. Still 35 cents. And yeah, that's all the comics I'm going to show you today. I'm going to put these off to the side, and we'll work on those a little bit later today. So see you in the next segment. No, this isn't a mistake. This is the one that I cleaned the other day. This has some spine splits in it, as I went over in the other video. And they've really been bothering me the last couple of days, and I can't make up my mind. Should I go ahead and take the staples out and seal up those spine splits and maybe make this 70-year comic last another 70 years? Or just leave it? Leave it in the Mylar and just forget that they're there. If you think I should go ahead and seal the splits, let me know in the comments. And if the majority of you think that yes, I should do it, then I will. And if the majority of you think that no, I should leave it as it is, since the cover is tight and the centerfold is tight, then I'll leave it like it is. I'm leaving this totally into your hands. But in the meantime, we do have a comic that is in very bad need of some help and some love. And it's another Classics Illustrated, and it's this one, Scottish Chiefs. And as you can see, it's in really bad shape. And now I made up my mind already that I was going to work on it, and I went ahead and pulled the staples out very carefully, and I had to do this. Let me show you this one staple here, and I'm holding it by the edge. I'm going to have to you see how it's bent? I'm going to have to straighten that out, try to straighten that out before I can put it back in the comic. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started on this one. Like I said, I've already taken the staples out. I thought I was doing it on video. It turns out I wasn't. Now this looks like it's going to be not too bad. The cover looks for the most part intact. So it's a matter of unfolding things and turning them around and getting it to fill. Carefully fill these gaps. But it looks for the most part complete. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a little piece of mending tissue right up here at the top to hold that part in. I need to get maybe a styrofoam board that I can work on and put like pins here and here along the edge, you know, push pins to hold the comic in place when I'm working with it. And I think that would be a big help. I could use clips, I guess, but I don't know if I want to try that or not at this point. So let's get that little piece of mending tissue here. Get my scissors. Don't need that big a piece. Now I'm going to come down here and reinforce where the staple goes and try to hold that in. This cover was attached by the bottom staple. Obviously it wasn't attached by the top staple because all of that's split. It was split from here all the way down. So that's 2/3 spine split. 2/3 spine split, if I recall, takes it down to a fair condition comic. Either fair or fair to good, one of the two. This piece is actually completely detached. So what we're going to do is try to figure out exactly how it goes in there so we can put it back in. I think it goes like that. Except it's more paper than what it should be. I wonder if it got twisted upside down. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. I see what happened. Yeah. It actually split the paper. So I need to look at the other side of this. Yeah, this paper is actually split. This part of it right here goes underneath. So it does go like this. I'm going to be working in small sections here. And there's several different types of this tissue that you can get. I've got this is the thinner tissue that I'm using right now, but I have some wider tissue too, which is what I noticed Bub uses. He uses the wider tissue. I prefer the thinner, but do use the wider one upon occasion as well. I'm missing a small piece here, so I don't want any tape to go over that. I've taped above it, and I'll tape just below it, and then I'll tape that piece in. Now I want to put a piece of tape across here, because this is actually split here also. It's got a tear. I need to make sure the tear's the way it's supposed to be. And a roll of this tape will last you a very long time. I've repaired a number of comics and never used a whole roll yet. And I don't film all of my repairs. Just once in a while, when the mood strikes me. This one. This is the tough one here. That's actually taping a piece back in. Reinforce the top part of it. I'm going to end up reinforcing the entire spine. Now I need a piece to go from here to here. But before I do that, I have this piece here that I want to... That's actually a tear that goes all the way across there. Now, got a minor tear here, crease there, minor tear down here that I think is going to chip off if it's not reinforced. And of course, if you sent this in to be graded, it would get dinged for tape. It's not something I'm worried about. Well, then again, I almost never send... As of this date, I have never sent a comic in to get graded. I'm not going to say that I never will. I'm just not that... I don't really care if a comic is graded professionally or not. As far as I'm concerned, I've been in buying, selling, and trading comics for 50 years. So when I grade a comic, it's professionally graded. That's the way I look at it. It might not be in a slab, but that doesn't make it any less being graded by a professional. No, I don't make my money off grading comics. Although I have made money off of that. I have graded comics for and evaluated them for collections for tax purposes and for insurance. So that would make me a professional grader. And I must have done all right because the insurance company sent several people to me to have their comic collections evaluated. Used to drive me crazy. I'd look at all these gorgeous Silver Age comics and I couldn't buy any of them because they were being evaluated for insurance. Okay. As long as I'm reinforcing, I think I'm going to reinforce this center page also. Now when I reinforce a center page, a centerfold page, I do it on the side away from the staple. And it probably doesn't need it, but we do want this comic to last as long as possible, so I'm going to do it anyway. And this will just ensure that the staple will hold for a very long time. This is not a first print. This is probably from the late 50s, early 60s. Now, what am I going to do about this staple? Set this off to the side. Alright, I'm going to fix this staple and put it back, put the comic back together, and I'll show you the results afterwards. And there you have it, our Scottish Chiefs comic. The cover mended, staples reinserted exactly where they were before, with the exception that one of them is no longer destroyed. And as you can see, it holds up nicely. If we go to the center, you can see the staples are coming through the exact same holes. Maybe not quite as tight as they used to be. And of course this one I straightened out and fixed what fixed. And this comic might last another, 40, 50 years with any kind of luck. I might have to do a little press on it to get that spine. It has a minor spine roll. It had a minor spine roll before I started. So might have to do a little press to get that out. But if I do that, then I'm going to clean it up a little bit first. So there you go. Next on my agenda is this Captain America. I said I was going to clean it up a little bit. Now, while I was repairing the Classics Illustrated comic, I went ahead and had this sitting in the humidity bath just to relax the pages a little bit. Let's go ahead and see how much surface dirt I can get off with one of these pads. And this comic is not in that great a shape. I mean, I would classify it as good. Had a little bit of dirt off of it, not much. And again, not much, little tiny bit of dirt. But what do you expect? It's been in a bag and board for 30 years, possibly longer. So we'll start working on the front cover, cleaning up these white areas a little bit. Of course, Felix is interested in my Captain America comics, and so I have to decide, do I want to hang on to him or do I want to let him go? It's not really a comic I collect. Of course, I don't really collect any Marvels, with the possible exception of Daredevil, and I'm still on the fence as to whether I've decided to collect that or not. But that really came out nice, a lot better than I thought it would. Get his star, his stripes there. Clean up the box a little bit. Attention to detail. When you're cleaning a comic, you gotta pay attention to the details. You can have this part of the comic look perfect, but if the box is dirty, what did you do? What did you accomplish? It's all about attention to details when you're doing even a minor cleaning like this. That's all I'm going to do is a minor cleaning. Let's compare this part of the Captain America to this other one that I have. And as you can see, the white looks a lot better than what it did. I'm not going to try to get it to look perfect because it's just a good comic, so anything I'm doing to it is not going to raise the grade. And the reason for that is it has a lot of little edge dings on it, and it's got a crease here, 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 a crease here. It's got multiple spine creases, long crease here, and wear on the spine itself. This is a very well loved comic. Somebody read the hell out of it and enjoyed it. And I'm happy. I'm happy they enjoyed their comic. Let's do a little cleaning on this back side. This part's probably going to get pretty boring for you, so I'm going to go ahead and work on it, skip ahead, show you what it looks like when I'm done. This is not going to go into the press, at least not today, maybe not ever, but we'll compare it side by side with the other one. It's got a long crease here. It looks like the comic was actually folded like this. So, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, are you ready to see the back? This was the really nice one I had. This was not. I think it turned out pretty well. It's a little bit yellowish, but most of the dirt is off of it. Like I said, I think it turned out pretty well. I might consider at some point in the future pressing this just to get some of the little wrinkles and stuff out of it. I do think that putting it in my humidity chamber for about 30 minutes helped it some. It makes the paper more pliable, and so when I hit it with the eraser, it was easier to get seemed like it came off easier than what it normally does. Now, whether this is true or not, I don't know. It just seemed that way to me. So there you go. A good comic, cleaned, and now it's a good comic. I don't upgrade stuff very often. 90% of the time, if it's good when I start, it's good when I finish. If it's fine when I start, it's fine when I finish. Once in a while, if it's fine when I start, it's very good when I finish because I make a mistake. I've even had fine comics go down to poor. You know, it's one of the hazards of trying to clean comics that you have to get over and you have to learn. Cleaning a copper or bronze age comic is a whole lot different from cleaning a silver or golden age comic. The dirt seems to come off easier on the newer comics than it does on the older comics. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Do leave a comment down below if you liked it, and definitely leave a comment if you think I should go ahead and seal those spine splits on this one. Because I really haven't decided. I really can't, I just can't make up my mind. They bother me, but on the other hand, if I sell it, it might be better if the spine splits were there. And we'll see you next video. Don't forget, before you handle your collectibles, wash your hands. It's good for your comics and your collectibles. It's good for your health. See you next video. Bye.